Incline was, it was partially climbed.
Yeah, I'm the one that,
I'm pretty sure he's in Texas, or he's not
second
around.
biggest.
So I don't know if Gary's coming or.
It's amazing. He's everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's really good. Yeah, I saw one of his boys this weekend.
I mean, he might be, when I talked to him last
Hey,
week, he
John,
was in Texas.
when
I
I
think he
was
said.
with the guys Friday night, I shouldn't say that, cause Ashley wasn't here, so there was a girl. I was joking, cause I'm like, why are you using a flip phone?
Hello?
Actually, order new iPhone,
I was-
they're free.
I know, I do, that's kind of been my plan, I wanna ask for that.
How are you, Chris?
It'd be easier for pictures
Yeah.
and email, stuff like that. But yeah.
I just need the 3 phone numbers associated with those 3 phones, and I'll email them all, they'll have them in like 2 days. Again, a quiet night, I'm a jinx.
Well,
Good.
I'm sure that was appreciated by them.
Hey, John, her new name now is Cagney.
Yeah,
Bill's Lacey.
yeah. I thought the crash on the highway, I thought it was gonna be, I was watching the video of it, the rear end, that did not seem like he was all there, the one that Rude was talking to for a bit. 222, coming
The
south.
first one in the Sonata, or the last one in the van?
Looked like he was in some kind of SUV.
Oh, that was the guy in the middle. Who said the other guy just basically cut him off,
Is that what it was?
that's what he said.
Okay, I got 12 o'clock, so call the meeting of the Fire and Police Committee to order. Roll call, please.
Bill Joyce,
Here.
Fred Vogel,
Here.
Ron Sanko,
Here.
Fred Levering,
Here.
Keith Durr.
Here. Do we have any public comment? Hearing none, we will move on. Fire Department comment.
Okay, for the month of April to date, there have been 117 responses consisting of 22 fires, 22 motor vehicle accidents, 32 medical calls, 9 hazardous conditions, 29 alarm activations, 1 smoke detector install, and 2 fire police calls. Total responses in the borough 73, outside of the borough 44. No reported damage to date for April. Average turnout per incident for April was 5 personnel. Volunteer responses for the month of April were 20, and to date, there was 559 responses. For the expanded report for March, there were a total of 226 responses system-wide. Fire damage in the borough itself, we had a loss of $25,000, saved property of $5,000, that was for the Inn at Reading. We gave aid 46 times, we received aid 40 times, 63 overlapping calls. Dispatch to en route was 1 minute 52 seconds, and dispatch to on scene was 7 minutes 1 second. I know the ambulance did it, so I threw it in here. Our busiest day of the week for the month of March was Wednesday, and the busiest hour of the day for the month of March was 7 to 8 p.m. We gave aid to Western Berks Fire Department 21 times, Mount Pleasant 1 time, Leesport 1, Greenfield Byrne Township 3, Milton 1, West Reading 1, Muhlenberg Township 9, Shillington 1, Kenhurst 1, Cumru 6, and the City of Reading 1. That's all I have for the monthly reports, if anybody has any questions.
Narcan?
No Narcan usage so far for April, and I did not believe, I did look for April, but I don't believe there was any for the month of March.
Okay, any additional questions on the reports? Alrighty.
Okay, so the next item I have is, we received a FEMA grant in the amount of $15,000. That money has been deposited into the borough's account. We had went for PPE protection. I attached 2 quotes. I'm looking to purchase 2 sets of structural turnout gear through Reading Fire Equipment at a total cost of $9,036. And 6 ballistic vests from Whitmer Public Safety, the fire store, officer store, at a total cost of $6,343.92. That would leave $375.52 that the borough would have to pay, which I would take out of my equipment budget.
Is the ballistic vest, is that who, John, do you use the same company for those, or?
Who do you have to, Whitmer?
It's through the officer store or whatever. See, we don't actually
Well-
assign them to the individual people, so we have different sizes ranged on the whatever, and then our guys are wearing those on any medical calls, ultimately.
The police department, we go through tactical wear when we get our uniforms. I use for the SWAT team though, Whitmer, and they're, co-stars, so they're gonna get the
Oh,
same
okay.
price.
It's a level 3A, and I think on that quote, I don't know that I brought the quote with, but I think the quote did mention that it was through the co-stars.
I was just thinking of the, just price. You know,
I can tell you, they did go up from, in a year's time, they went up about $150.
Okay, and I know I asked a question and you had answered that about, if Relief could buy these.
They can't buy, they could probably buy ballistic vests, that wasn't approved for the budget for this year. But anything that's actually assigned to a career personnel, it can't be purchased. So the stuff that we're buying through the Relief, which we beg and borrow and pull teeth to get Gary Rhodes to approve it, is stuff that would ultimately be on the trucks, it's not assigned to any one person. But we got gigged back soon after I got hired in 2007 in spring, they got gigged by the Auditor General for when they come in and do the audit,
Right.
for turnout gear that was purchased for the career staff, and then the township had to reimburse the Relief Association. But ultimately, this grant was approved, and trying to get the grant changed is gonna be next to,
Oh, so you're committed to this,
Correct.
for that, I didn't know whether there was other things you could,
no.
we could swap out.
No, the FEMA grant, if we have extra money, we can pretty much buy anything. That's why for the FEMA grant I had brought up before, when we purchased a ladder truck, about leasing it or whatever, loaning it, because then I can do it as debt reduction and we can use it for anything. But once we submit the grants, you have to purchase what you basically, if there's any extra
Which
money
you have
left, at that point, then you can kind of do whatever you want with it, as long as it's within the parameters of the grant.
Alrighty, entertain a motion,
Make a motion to approve.
motion second, all those in favor?
Aye.
We don't need any, roll call on this, do we?
What is this, is there any out-of-pocket expense, or is this all
Five,
coming from the grant?
$375.52 would be it. This isn't a matching grant, but we've exceeded the grant amount that we received by $375.
At the council meeting, we need a roll call, but not here.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Just for general information, this is just general information, because the other subject I'm not necessarily up on, the emergency flashing light. Engine 79 is scheduled for those repairs, probably around starting April 27th, because we have pump testing coming out this week, that's gonna go out. And then the ladder's scheduled for its annual service and inspection, May 23rd, which will probably be a week or two, but what happens in between, we'll deal with it.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper than what we thought.
Yeah, most definitely, yeah, that's what they said, so I'm like, yeah, run this by or whatever, but I was thinking it was gonna be like what we paid for the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
But that was an
There's a typo
injector,
here.
that was injectors, and then the turbo itself, so this is just, they're gonna replace the head gasket ultimately.
Where we have a delivery intent for the sale.
We're gonna finalize that after this meeting.
Colin had a couple of revisions based off equipment that was actually on the truck versus what was listed in the agreement. Otherwise, I think those revisions were good to go.
It looks like a real letter, I mean.
Check has to clear, but.
Yeah. One step at a time.
Okay, moving on to the, emergency flashing signal at the fire department.
So Bill, you brought this up at infrastructure last week. I reached out to traffic planning and design, which is the borough's traffic engineer, to ask what would be required to get it corrected. They have a call into PennDOT. We were both hoping we'd have a response by today, and unfortunately we don't. As to, I sent TPD the signal permit plan for that specific traffic signal. Circled what the issues are with where the ramp is and where vehicles are stopping, so we're all on the same page. PennDOT should be getting back to them as to the process we'd have to go through to get the signal plan changed. And then, once that plan was approved by PennDOT, we could go ahead with making any changes to the signal, either moving the lines on the road as to where vehicles stop, anything like that.
So for now, progress.
Sure.
Alrighty, so we'll be drawing further attention to that. Anything else, Don?
I do not have anything else, thank you.
Anybody else have anything for the chief? Alrighty, and Tony's not here. Alrighty, John.
Good afternoon, everyone. I've got 2 requests that have come in. One is for the library's annual 5K to be held on June 18th. That is going to be strictly within the parkland system. We're going to start and stop at the soccer fields, and they run solely through the parkland. So there's no real need for police services. We just open up gates for them along the Wyndham Road. The second is for Safe Berks with their annual peace walk along Penn Avenue, which
Okay, hold on a minute, let's
What do you want?
can I get a motion to approve the library's 5K runs?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, further questions on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, John.
The second is for Safe Berks annual peace walk along Penn Avenue. They stage in the parking lot at Park Road North and Penn Avenue. They are going to have an amplification system set up, a tent. They then give a speech and awards usually to people that are involved with that agency. And then they do a peace walk down Penn Avenue into West Reading, I believe down to the 500 and 400 block of Penn. They asked for some assistance from us to get across parking in Penn and then out at 8th and Penn. And that's really all that they do, what they ask for us. But again, they are gonna have a tent, which I believe requires some additional permits from the fire.
And do we waive that fee? Or did we waive that fee in the last time, or did we charge them for that?
I'd have to check the
I think
record.
it
And I can check with
Usually
Troy
for
too.
nonprofits, we waive it,
Okay.
only for for-profits, we charge it.
And where are they gonna set that up?
The parking lot, it's called the old Wrangler parking lot, right there in parking Penn.
Across from that road.
Yes.
And what time is this?
That's going to start at on Saturday, at 8 AM. It looks like they're gonna start setting up, but it looks like the event starts at 10:30. It's supposed to be done by 11. It's a pretty quick one. It looks like they put the tent up on Saturday the day before. And they should be done by noon with tearing everything down on the Saturday.
So is the avenue closed for 3
No,
hours?
it's not closed at all. We just help them cross when they're done doing their speech and awards. We'll help them cross the streets, but that's it. We don't help them come back. They just
They
have
use the
their
sidewalk.
walk and.
I think so, I think we did last year.
It's a 5K.
No, this is a
No,
walk.
this is different.
This is just a peace walk, it's called, for the Safe Berks.
What is Safe Berks?
Where are they
It used to
walking?
be Berks Women in Crisis. It deals with domestic violence, basically, is what it's about.
Very
They
well.
walk on the sidewalk from Park and Penn, down Penn Avenue into West Reading, to I believe it's the 400 or 500 block.
All right, so both events on the same day, that's confusing.
Yes, they're both on the same day, but just
That's not a
different
problem.
locations.
Right.
No.
Also moved.
Second.
Motion second, further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
And then I wanted to make the committee aware that I'm going to be giving a active shooter presentation at our library on May 25th at 6 PM. And I'm also going to be doing one at the Berkshire Mall a couple days later on the 1st of June for the different tenants at the mall. They do it every year or two. They try to get their tenants to come up and go over different types of fire companies. Troy's usually there, type of thing, so. But the one at the library's new. I wanna
Yeah.
talk with Colleen about seeing if she's gonna advertise it and see how many people we can get, and kind of, the idea is I'm gonna talk about what things a person could do should they find themselves in that type of situation, and what they can expect from law enforcement during those types of situations.
So the one at the library is for the public?
Yes, the Williamson Public Library. So,
So it's not just for the employees?
no,
It's for
this,
anyone.
we're gonna open it up to the public to see how many people we may get come in, so,
Is it a talk? Is that what it is?
yes,
Do you have any videos?
yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Because I have a couple of VHS videos.
Yeah.
If you need them.
I probably have the same ones. I put a presentation together a couple of years now. I've gone to different events, different churches and businesses and things like that. And I wanted to try to put something out to the general public and see what I could get, so I talked with Colleen to see if I could do something over there, because I know they bring in speakers from time to time, so.
Approximately how long of a presentation?
It'll go probably about an hour and a half, but I can get the gift of gab sometimes, and if I get a lot of questions, so that kind of, it could go up to 2, but it won't go that long, I don't think. It'll be about an hour and a half.
Sounds good.
And then that's all I have.
Anybody have any questions for the chief? Thank you, boy, we're zooming through this today. And West Side Regional.
Okay, just a couple of things here, I'll make it short too. I received, from the Highlands, their copy of their required emergency action plan. It was reviewed, filed, and they were notified that we'd received it and reviewed it too. Places like the Highlands have to submit those by law every year, and goes to the county as well as to myself, and I've got them filed away there. They pretty much do the same thing every time, other than change the names and that kind of thing if they have them in there. And I will be sending out a note for, in this case, Melissa, to forward to elected officials, who are the guys here at the table, for an open house at the EOC up there at the fire station on May 18th. At 7 o'clock in the evening, and we'll include like a kind of a review or take a look at what facilities we have there, and a short presentation on some of the functions that we might have to have if we're ever set up there to really have a major emergency, I'll call it.
You gonna have cookies?
I will expect cookies to be brought by the elected officials. So,
Current and former?
so, that's all I have.
They probably kill everybody if they got some donuts from Holland that are about the size of a
But the small wheel,
small cover for
right,
Any questions for West Side Emergency Management? Thank you, Tom. Hey, old business. When,
get something? Sure. Old business, I just, after we had, you guys had discussed, the handicap signs, I did notice on Delaware Avenue, 1500 block, and Delaware Avenue, 1400 block, there are 2 signs in both blocks, almost across from each other. I know we discussed that one on Penn Avenue there, and that there was one pretty close by, but I noticed those 2 just because I get out in those streets a little more often, and they are almost right across from each other, so
There's 2 on each side.
one on each side.
On
Two
both
different
blocks.
blocks. In 2 different blocks, one block, next block, so there's And I was just wondering, because I didn't know how that lady was making out with, or
I haven't heard anything, but that's,
was receptive of your,
I let her know, I haven't heard anything back from her though, but, that is something that, maybe I wasn't clear, that's kind of how it's always been, where you'll put one on one side and one on the other, but that's it,
not the
So-
same side.
not the same side.
Well, I didn't know, I just saw
The same
it.
block.
Could be the same block.
Could be the same block, but they'll put one on one, one on the other, but never, more than that.
On the same side.
So if you're not really handicapped, you can get them across the street, if you get across the street, then can't, you can run across the street.
Just an observation. I didn't know, I didn't realize it was the same side.
Yeah, you can see that on Penn Avenue too, where you'll have them on both sides.
Okay, anything else under old business? And new business? Hearing none, when you discussing the fire, the agreement?
We're gonna do it, just Michelle and I.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, not with the committee.
okay. Very good. No new business. That, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion second, thank you.
Wow. Land speed.
Doesn't even be better than my old record.